Oh my God, yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Look, man, work fucked me up bad, man. Like, I'm not in the best shape, but it don't take, usually I can, you feel good after a workout, man. But this shit, oh my God, my muscles is on fire right now, top and bottom. Nigga had to unload the truck. Half the majority of the truck. I got the majority of the shit off. At least some of the big shit. Maybe about 45% of the truck. Nah, I got most of that shit off. But I had to do that shit dolo for the most part because, one of my team members was late. Another one went to jail. Another one was sick. So I had to jump on the truck, jump down the truck, take it to where it needed to go. Jump on the truck, jump down the truck, take it to where it needed to go, man. So I'm beat. Like, I'm exhausted right now, man. Nonetheless, peep game, man. Let's get into this shit, man. I talk, it's a few videos I went and I watched, man, and I just wanted to get my motherfucking my annotations on it, man, as it pertains to Bud. And it's one of them being Blue Blood saying Bud hasn't looked good, like he's regressing or whatever the case may be, despite the performance he just put on back in November. And a lot of it is being done. A lot of this shit is being said at the time that just. I don't even know. It's being said in a sense to give Earl Spence like this elevated level of glory that he's entitled to for winning that fight against Ugas just this past weekend. And it's just really like, what the fuck is you niggas talking about? Like, it's little shit. It's little shit. Like, what did he say? He said he hasn't looked good, out of the orthodox stance. He didn't look good out of the orthodox stance. Against Kavaliaskez and against Sean Porter and against Kell Brook. And there's three things to take away from those fights. For one, when he fought, we'll go in order. We'll go in numerical order. When he fought Kavaliaskez, let's not act like he wasn't touching him up. Egas was catching him. Egas was catching him. He was catching him, man. But the thing, people really downgrade who Egas Kavaliaskez is as a fighter, man. That's a solid fighter. And not just from a skill set standpoint. He's a big dude. He's a big welterweight. He's a big welterweight with impeccable timing, man. That dude it's not speed. It's calculated counter punching, and it's timing. It's timing. It's catching you right, learning how to, catching you before you open up. You know what I'm saying? This minute he sees you do something, it's not the speed that's gonna kill you. He's gonna catch you before you get committed into doing something. So before you get your guard all the way up, he's splitting that guard down the middle with that right hand. Cerebral fighter. He's a good dude. He's good. So he was saying he was getting caught in the capacity that he was getting caught in because he's slipping. He threw caution to the wind with Egas Kavaliaskez, man. He threw caution all the way to the wind, and he went in there to prove that it's nothing that you could do that I can't do better. So he didn't box smart with Egas Kavaliaskez. He went in there with the intent to destroy that man after he got hit, he got clipped and he got dropped. He was just like, nah, fuck all that. It's on. We own that. And he went in there and just eventually imposed his will on him. It took a minute, but he did it. He was making the small adjustments. He started getting his timing down a little bit better, placing his shots a little bit better as the fight progressed. Now, I can understand why somebody would say that was a shaky performance by Bud, most definitely, because he didn't fight the cerebral fight that fight. He went in there and fought. Nah, fuck all that thinking, fuck all that being slick on the outside. We about to brawl. We finna rumble. And he out-brawled the brawler. Now, my thing is this. Why is it that but y'all can denigrate Bud in that fight and say he's showing signs of slippage, but when Earl decided to go and fight Sean Porter, he chose to fight Sean Porter in that manner, and he beat him. It's contradictory. It's really, and I can, somebody... Actually, it's not. You can't say that on my behalf because Bud went in there and fought. He intentionally went. He went in there. It showed. Bud went outside of his fighting identity and fought Kavaliaskez in that manner. He didn't go in there. He wasn't slick. He didn't set traps. He didn't fight off the back foot with Velasquez. No, he went in there and put the pressure on him, put the pedal to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal. And then in his next fight, which was with Kell Brook, look at how we fought Kell Brook. It was a lot more calculated when he went in there and fought Kell Brook. Now they were saying, oh, you know, he was getting caught with Kell Brook. Kell Brook is an exceptional counterpuncher. He is. He is, bro. Like, how are you once again gonna see? Because how are you gonna clap at him getting caught by Kell Brook as if Spence wasn't getting caught by Kell Brook neither? People have very selective memory when it comes to this, you know, when it comes to the fighters that they like. Spence ain't going there and just blow through Kell Brook. He eventually broke him down. But he was getting clipped all night with that left hand over the top of his jab. Y'all are going to disregard that, though, because, oh, it's Earl Spence. Get the fuck out of here. Bud looks a lot, he's regressed due to him getting counterpunched by Kell Brook, and the same thing was happening to Earl Spence by the same fighter. You're gonna get caught in boxing. That's just what it's gonna be. But it's the adjustments that you make after you get caught. Motherfuckers ain't going in there on no Jermell Charlo versus Erickson Lubin flawless victory shit. That's not gonna happen 9 times out of 10. So it's the adjustments that you can make on the fly, or can you just completely impose your will on somebody like Bud did with Velasquez, or oh man, my man back. Can you go in there and impose your will like Bud did on Velasquez, or in y'all defense like Spence did on Kell Brook? That's simple. That's simple. Think about that. The difference is Spence hasn't shown I haven't seen the ability to adjust from him. I honestly haven't. We've seen that from Bud. So you dudes just jump out the window and say a lot of wild shit that y'all say, and it's just like, how do y'all like what the fuck is like? I just don't understand what people be thinking. Like, how do you not think some shit out before you say it? You know what I'm saying? And the biggest takeaway from all this is this. Before we even get into that, Sean Porter, their second common opponent. Sean Porter, oh, he didn't look good in the orthodox stance. You know, Sean Porter was catching him a lot. Sean Porter catches everybody. There's no fighter that has just been able to really blanket Sean Porter outside of Kell Brook. And it's because of how he fought him. Kell Brook would 1-2 wrap up. He smothered Sean's work, so Sean wasn't able to really do what it is that he normally does. He wasn't. It's a lot harder to fight Sean Porter from the outside and set traps and counter punch because of how explosive and fast he is on his feet. And he's shorter than everybody in the division, so him coming in low and getting up under your jab works to his advantage. It's easier for him to do that. That's how he was able to neutralize Earl Spence's jab. The difference between how Sean Porter fought, or how Bud and how Spence fought Sean Porter, was the feet. It was the feet. His ability, if he gets bum rushed to the rope, just the ability to simply spin out and get back to the middle of the ring. Pivot, get around you, step around you, and hook off the turns. Simple as that. Simple as that. So how is it that y'all are trying to highlight how Bud looked like he's regressing and showing signs of slippage in front of these 3 fighters when Spence looked the same way in the fight with Porter and with Brook? It's ridiculous the narrative that these people formulate in their head. Now, the biggest takeaway is from what I'm hearing is, oh well, he's vulnerable out of the orthodox stance. He's showing slippage out of the southpaw stance. The thing is this: he has a whole nother stance that he can fight from. At this point, you're drawing from straws. Because people are, he's not good out of the orthodox stance. All right, cool. He's great out of the southpaw stance. He's a Swiss Army knife. Y'all are so fixated on him looking vulnerable out of the orthodox stance that y'all are forgetting that he has an unorthodox stance that he can go out of. Which once again neutralizes y'all claim as this dude showing signs of slippage. It's the dumbest shit in the world. It's the dumbest shit in the world. Because if Bud does decide that, all right, cool, I'm going to fight you out of the southpaw stance, and if what they're saying is true about him being better out of the southpaw stance, that makes him a better southpaw than Earl Spence. What the fuck are y'all talking about? There are attributes in Bud's game that Spence does not have. And you can formulate whatever narrative and paradigm that you want to formulate in your goofy, insignificant ass brain of yours, and it's gonna be the same thing. Bud's footwork is leagues better than Earl Spence's. His defense and his counterpunching is leagues better than Earl Spence. Earl Spence is the more active fighter. Earl Spence may have the better jab. Possibly. The jury is still out on that. But these narratives are like, that just doesn't make any sense. Y'all got all right, cool. Let's say he decides I don't want to fight in the orthodox stance. You have to deal with me in the southpaw stance now. And you're not used to dealing with southpaws. That puts me at an advantage. Because Bud has the better boxing brain than Earl Spence. It's as simple as that. How the fuck you gonna it's just ridiculous how the shit that y'all come up with to glorify Spence, which is cool. Spence is a good fighter, man, but how the fuck is Bud showing signs of regression when nobody has stopped Sean Porter until him? Y'all can talk all that bullshit, Porter was a shot fighter. The fuck he was. He pushed Bud. He pushed him. He wasn't no shot fighter. Bud is just the better fighter. Bud isn't going 10 rounds with a shot fighter. It's not happening. It will not happen. That is like that. It just baffles me, man. Just like, goddamn, there's no sense of objectivity with you cats. There's no sense of objectivity with y'all cats. Bud is regressing because of how he looked with Kell Brook and Sean Porter, but despite stopping both of them. But Earl Spence shows signs of promise because of what exactly? He's not showing any signs of regression because of what y'all have he decided to fight Sean Porter in that capacity that he did. No, he didn't. He didn't decide to do that because you seen how uncomfortable he looked while he was doing it. But let's entertain it. All right, cool. Maybe he did decide to fight him. He went to a split decision with Sean Porter. So how is he showing signs of? How is Bud showing for signs of regression, but Earl Spence isn't? None of y'all have the answer for that question because it's a remedial. It's a remedial stance to have. Just being honest. Just being overly honest. You can be for a fighter all you want, man, but just try to stay objective while you're marching, while you're in favor of them, because you end up looking like bozos when Y'all look like bozos when you try to go against the grain. You dig? And it's not even going against the grain. It's just simply trying to be OD pro whoever it is that you're, that you're in favor of. You look like a fool saying that. You look like a fool. Y'all have two common opponents. Bud stopped both of them. You stopped one and had a split decision with the other. They didn't make it to the scorecard. None of them made it to the scorecard with Bud. None of them. Yet Bud looks like he's regressing because of how he fought the both of them. What are you talking about? Come on, Blue Blood. From what I've heard, you a boxer too. You're a former boxer. You should know better than the shit that you saying, King. You should know better. That's ridiculous. That's asinine. It's absurd. It's blasphemous. It's all of the above. Whatever verbiage you can think of to say what it is, that's what it is. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I can't wait for the fight to happen just so these doubters and these naysayers can be proven wrong, man. I really can't. Because this Earl Spence, I'm not a fan of his fans. I just really want y'all to come back down to earth. I do. I honestly do. And the sooner this fight happens, the better. And I might fuck around and attend that motherfucker too. Keep your shit a stack with you, man. So Bud isn't showing signs of regression based on how he fought Cavalier, Brook, and Porter. Because honestly, he got better in each one of those fights. In numerical order, man. So fuck out of here, man. Deuces.